Greetings. It is such an honor to be here explaining the Kwanzaa ceremony to my community. You see behind me the full setup of Kwanzaa, and I will be explaining the items. And first, I'd like to begin by just briefly telling you that Kwanzaa was a manufactured, actually, celebration by Maulana Karenga in 1966. And since that time, the celebration has grown, and it was at its heights during the 60s and 70s. The word Kwanzaa actually means first fruits, and it's based on traditions on the continent of Africa, where the first harvest, or as we referred to it, first fruits, was a shared ceremony, and people would come together and be grateful for their crops. There is a lot of Swahili used throughout the ceremony, and so you will hear me saying Swahili words. The purpose of Kwanzaa is basically to restore and to assist African Americans in reclaiming their identity with their African culture. We lost much of our understanding of our culture during the period of enslavement. And so it's not uncommon that people that live in Africa today may not even be familiar with Kwanzaa, because it was created for African Americans, again, to reclaim our identity with the continent. There are 3 significant colors that are used in Kwanzaa. You will see red, you will see green, and you will see black. The red symbolizes the blood of the people, the green symbolizes the land, and of course, the black is for African identity. When Kwanzaa began, it was exclusively for African Americans, and now it's open. Everybody can celebrate Kwanzaa who wants to get a better understanding of African culture. It is a non-religious celebration, so you can put up your Christmas tree, and then the day after Christmas, on December 26th, you would begin celebrating the principles of Kwanzaa. There are 7 days that would be celebrated. So on the last day of Kwanzaa, which would be the first day of the new year, that is when you would actually have the major celebration, especially for children. The word Nguza Saba refers to the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. You see on the table that there are 3 red candles, 3 green candles, and 1 black candle. The first day of Kwanzaa, you would light the black candle, and then for each subsequent day, you would light one of the other candles. You can do all the red ones first and then the green ones, or mix it. That part doesn't matter, but the black one is always lit first. I would like to explain that in the 7 days, the first day is Umoja. The second day is Kujichagulia. The third day is Ujima. The 4th day is Ujamaa. The 5th day is Nia. The 6th day is Kuumba. And the 7th and last day of Kwanzaa is Imani. Each one of those days has a special meaning. And as we go through the 7 days, you will have an explanation from a representative that will explain the meaning of each one of those words. The symbols that I want to call to your attention now are placed on the table. The first and most significant symbol is the mat. It is the foundation of the ceremony. just as Africa is the foundation for our culture. And on that mat, you would place a kinara. The kinara holds the candle. And as I explained, you have one candle for each day. The 7 principles are referred to as the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Also on the table, you have fruit or vegetables that are represented as the harvest. You will also see on the table a cup. The cup is referred to as the Makinde. And in this cup, you would pour your liquid. It could be water. Sometimes even alcohol is used because you begin your Kwanzaa ceremony with a libation. So when people come together and you light the candles and explain the principle of the day, you would never begin your ceremony without asking permission of the elder who is present. Do I have permission to hold this ceremony? Once the elder gives permission, then you would pour a libation in honor of all the ancestors that have preceded us. You will notice that there are no gifts on this table, but normally there are gifts, and the children receive their gifts on the last day. And these are encouraged to be non-commercial gifts. And the gifts are to reward the children who've done well in school or perhaps doing their chores well at home or some other worthy endeavor. The last thing I will point out on the table are the dried ears of corn. The corn symbolizes children or life, birth in the family. If you are in a family and there are no children, you would always have at least one ear of corn, and that represents potential life. I have been celebrating Kwanzaa for many, many years. I have gone to huge community celebrations. I have held small ones in my own home. And now, what we want to share with you is whenever you attend a celebration, you always bring something for the feast that follows. There's always good times that follow the program, and the people would have food and drink and music, and it's just very lively. So, as you decide that you might want to celebrate Kwanzaa for the first time this year, when you meet someone during that 7-day period, you would say Habari Gani, which translates to something like, what's going on? And the person would respond with whatever the principle was for that particular day. I encourage all of you to look into more about Kwanzaa. I was just able to give you a few highlights today. Thank you for your attention.